Hello and welcome back to your weekly side quest. We're very excited for today's episode because we're covering something that is pretty important for all new players entering the TTRPG scene. We see you in the Instagram comments. Okay, speak your truths. All right.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about firsts. What? And mainly just recommendations for firsts. You know, things to avoid, things to do. All that kind of good stuff, because you wouldn't believe it, but we actually used to be first timers as well. We haven't always been experts.
No way! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Okay,
Get out!
I can't. I got glued
I'm
to the seat.
still new. I'm still new.
Same. For 4 years.
You can add your first timer insight. There you go. But yeah, we're gonna be teaching you guys a couple things to avoid and things to do and things that we recommend, and it's gonna be awesome! Yippee!
Yippee!
And the first question, you know what I got? You know what I got for you guys? What class do you think is a good starter class? You know, something they can pick up. It's comprehensible, digestible, and most importantly, informative on how the game works. Okay. And we'll start over with Noah.
He's the first one with the hot take. What's the hot
easiest
take,
class to play is definitely just fighter, and you know there's not a lot of there's not a lot of complications with them, and they're also pretty powerful. They get action surge. They can do 2 actions in one round, level 2, which is insane. If you're looking for a spellcasting class, I probably suggest Bard. I just feel like sorcerers got meta magic, and wizards, they have a weird way of doing spells. So I think Bard is probably the easiest full caster. Even Warlock's kind of strange with how they do spells. So if you want to play a caster, go Bard, I think. But honestly, for first time, just do what you like. It's going to be a bit complicated no matter what, so just pick whatever suits your boat. I picked Wizard, my first ever D&D class, and huge mistake. Wizard's probably the most complicated class in D&D, but I had fun, and I like the challenge.
I can agree with some of those points. We'll hop over to Evan.
Some of those points?
All
Anything
right.
specific you want to add? I'm crying.
No, there's nothing specifically I disagree with. I'm just saying some of the points I'm like, yeah, 100%. Most of them I'm just neutral on.
Some.
Yeah.
Editor, play the AOL boot up sound while they were talking.
Who the fuck is this old man talking about AOL still? He's talking about AOL 5 episodes ago.
What the fuck is
AOL's gone! Spoiler alert!
What?
What?
Evan's the oldest one here. No wonder.
Mainly...
Editor,
Listen,
can
it
you
was
put a
just my
gray-
birthday. You can't do this to me.
Editor,
You
can
can't
you
do
put-
this.
Editor, can you put a gray beard on Evan, please?
Okay, so my opinion, I think the best beginner class
Next.
in
Damn, starting it off early, huh?
Editor, you can cut all this fucking blank space in between us not talking if you'd like.
Keep it in.
I'm just getting roasted, man.
Keep the roast in.
Cleric.
That was really
As
funny.
much as everybody won't probably think it, I say cleric's the best because it's really easy to pick up with doing the spells because you're mainly just working with healing being the main spell focus. You've got a lot of different domains that work with either being headfirst in the battle. You've got some that stay back, different stuff like that, but it also allows you to be kind of creative with how you're playing the character because they get so many different proficiencies with the armor that they get, with the skills that they can choose, but also the backgrounds that go with it. Yeah, I just think cleric's one of the easiest ones to get into. And if you really want to learn the game, it's the best one because it's a little bit of both. You got the fighting and the spellcasting.
Yeah, you're true.
No one's going to be mad that you play a cleric.
Mm-hmm. And no matter how you play a cleric, I mean, people might be like, oh, why didn't he heal me? But then you go, shut up, plebe. I just dealt 46 radiant damage with my guiding bolt at level 1. And they just go, okay. So,
What was your first class, Evan?
My first class was a druid, And that was a mistake.
Yikes. Actually,
'Cause-
probably the most complicated class. I lied. It's not wizard.
With druids, you have to take so many different things into consideration. You've got your wild shapes, which, depending on which circle you're in, you have to know the stat blocks of the creature you're turning into. You have to keep track of those hit points on top of your own hit points. If hit points cross over, you got to do the math of that. Spell focusing, not being able to wear a lot of armor, a lot of restrictions with it.
Yeah, and the rules for wild shape are like 4 paragraphs long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I ain't reading all that.
I ain't reading that essay. No, thank you. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Cleric did cross my mind when I was thinking up this question. I was like, cleric seems like a pretty comprehensible. But then I remembered about 2 other classes that I'll get into when I'm yapping. So we'll hop over to
You're
Hallie.
yapping right now.
He goes last, remember? Just like gym
gym
class.
Shut up.
I
Just
mean,
like gym class.
Shut up.
Mute them.
Don't silence me.
Revolution.
If you're a cleric, you can cast silence on her.
We'll hop over to
Counterspell.
Halia.
You're done? Okay. I mean, I guess the easiest out of all of them is fighter. Because I imagine you probably don't want to start off with spellcasters if you're just starting. Unless, I mean, you really want to. The easiest would be fighter.
And if you do want to have spellcasting, or later on you decide you want to have spellcasting, fighters have a subclass for that, where they get
That's true.
spellcasting.
Eldritch Knight.
Eldritch Knight.
True.
It's so eldritch. So eldritch.
It's so night.
It's so nice.
Cthulhu.
Wow.
True.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, there you go.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
What was your first character?
I don't want to talk about her.
Blood Rain.
She was.
We're never going to talk about the Blood Rain incident, are we?
You know
No,
what?
I guess not.
I think we have, actually.
I mean,
I brought it
kind
up
of.
before.
Someone get
At some
Jonas on the
point.
line.
I played a Arcane Trickster Rogue for my first time. Which, I mean, I guess rogues are also easy. Because they don't usually do magic. So, like, that's fine. But Arcane Trickster was whatever. They suck, though, because they don't get a lot of good spells. They get the shitty poo-poo ones out of the wizard spell list.
Yeah, they get enchantment and illusion spells. Very,
That's-
very limited because there is like probably 8 of them to pick from.
Yeah, it's pretty not fun to play an Arcane Trickster Rogue.
Well,
But
something
rogues-
else to keep. Continue.
Huh?
I'll say my point after.
Yeah, rogues, I guess, and fighter are probably, in my opinion, the easiest to pick up and understand. So,
Alright. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of good points there. You wanted to say something, Evan?
Yeah, if you really don't want to be failing a lot of things, Rogue is a great class to choose because of expertise.
Yeah.
You choose expertise in 2 skills, you're probably never going to roll lower than 10.
Bards get the same thing, I think.
Bards also get the same thing.
Yeah, jack of all trades.
Nope.
Yeah.
And also they
Oh,
just
true.
get expertise as well.
do they
So
have
if you don't want to
the-
fail stuff, if you really don't want to fail stuff, and you want to be ruse, you pick a bard.
True.
If you don't want to
Real.
fail stuff and you want to be sneaky and steal things,
or
play
just
Rogue.
Bards can do it.
both.
Or cheat.
Or cheat. Yeah, fudge your rules.
Yeah,
Every
just-
DM will love you if you play at their table and you
Don't
cheat.
actually.
And you go
It's
to roll.
sarcasm.
You go to roll, and you're like, a natural 20. You pick it up really fast. No one will even catch on. No one will catch on.
Wee woo, sarcasm alert, sarcasm
DMs,
alert.
look out for that behavior.
We've cut on to
Editor,
that
put
at
a
some
sarcasm
point.
warning.
Editor, can you
We-
hit
we-
someone with the Riz face, just like sometime? Well,
We
that was
cut
wrong.
on to that behavior at some point, and it was.
Well,
not
speaking
fun.
of catching on to that kind of behavior, Alyssa, it's your turn
What
to
did
answer.
Uh,
I don't think Alyssa's done this.
It wasn't
What did
Alyssa.
I do?
It
Go on,
wasn't
Chief.
Alyssa.
I'm just. It's a
It's
segue.
one who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named.
It.
He easiest class.
Not
Yeah.
easiest. A good starter class.
Good starter class. Okay.
So something that's not
I wanted,
super
I wanted your
complicated.
phrasing.
Well, if easy classes are what
Easy-
you want to start with,
Yes, exactly.
We're
yes,
both right.
Yeah,
easiest.
everyone's a winner
They're
here.
the same. Kinda. I agree
Not
with
really.
a lot by saying fighter. If you don't want to think, pick fighter. Because you just hit things really, really big.
Big damage.
And then sometimes you can hit twice.
Sometimes.
Maybe 3 times. Maybe,
Maybe
a lot.
Maybe
Four.
even 4.
Maybe 8.
Maybe even 8 or 9 if you
Maybe 8.
Even 9.
play a Necromite.
True.
Very good, Halia.
Yeah,
If you
no.
want to play a spellcaster, though, I don't think sorcerers are that hard to get into. This is coming from someone who started playing D&D as a sorcerer. I don't think meta magic is too complicated.
It's
Holy
not.
shit! Compared to other things full casters get. Yeah.
I mean, metamagic.
Sorcerers is kind of like the lesser wizard,
I'll
but
say
Yeah.
they still
I'll-
have their own like fun
I'll
things.
say this about metamagic. The thing that makes it complicated is the conversion of sorcery points to spell slots and spell slots
But
to
who the
sorcery
fuck
points.
does it?
Yeah.
There's actually a really cool build that you can do if your DM doesn't have a cap on how many short rests you can do a day. You go Warlock, you go Pact of the Tome, and you take the invocation that lets you not have to sleep. You take a shit ton of short rests, converting your Warlock spell slots into sorcery points to get infinite sorcery points.
Too complicated for someone who's.
Yeah, I literally I
That's
heard
why-
what you
see,
said,
that's what I'm
but
saying.
I didn't.
Is metamagic does have an air of elegance and complication to it.
I
Point
mean,
I'd like to make.
If you
That
if
just
you
made it
choose
more
to make it
difficult.
complicated.
Complicated.
I feel like
Okay,
it also depends on the subclass you take, because wild magic I'd say is a little more complicated than
How
draconic
magic
bloodline.
sucks.
I liked playing wild
But it's
magic.
fun.
But
It's
it's funny. It's funny to turn into a potted plant.
I
It's
played
also really
it.
funny to lose all your hair and turn blue.
Yeah.
I played it.
Yeah.
I played it on Baldur's Gate, and every single time I turned into a sheep, and I was like, "This is the worst."
I feel like in
That's
Baldur's
the good
Gate,
part.
I feel like in Baldur's Gate you have more likely, like it's more likely for you to have your wild magic proc because it's a video game and it has to.
Yes, no.
Like when I played a wild magic sorcerer, I think it procced maybe once.
And your hair fell out. You sneezed it all out.
And it got to the point too where Jonas had to be like, now your wild magic will proc on a 1 or a 2 because he wanted my wild magic to happen.
That's
So
funny.
Yeah.
if you get lucky,
such
you
classic-
don't have to worry about it, but it's also really fun when it does happen.
Such classic things like summoning a unicorn, casting fireball on yourself. It's all such good things.
But there are times when it's came in clutch.
100%.
True.
Fireball on
making
yourself can
everybody
be
invisible.
really good, by the way. That can be really fucking good. You're in the middle of a fucking horde, everything's gone.
Including yourself.
Yeah! Unless you, I don't know, maybe
Yippee.
if you have 3 sorcery points to spare, you could just careful spell it, I guess.
Or if you're a red
Yeah.
dragonborn.
Yeah, it says you cast, or fireball, I don't know, I'll have to go into it. I don't play fucking sorcerers, dude.
Careful spell is 1, but go off.
No, it's the level of this. No, I'm thinking of twin spell. I'm thinking of something else. If you have 1 sorcery point, you're good. Anyways, do you have anything else to add?
No. Play whatever you want, though.
Play whatever you want. That's the most
Real.
important thing. Whatever seems really cool, go for it.
Yeah.
I personally think there is 2 options nobody's considered. First of all, barbarian. Come on now. You have one thing
That's
to do.
true.
Yeah.
You rage. And rage is super easy. You take less damage.
Ah.
And you deal more damage.
And you do like 2 more damage. Until you're
And
level
you get advantage on strength
a
checks.
trillion. Yeah, it's really
And you can also
it is like
reckless
it's
attack
like fighter, but
on steroids.
you don't like you could do it with anything. You don't need armor. You don't need no fancy weapons. Pick up
It's
a
a fighter,
chair leg.
but mad.
And the best part
It's
is,
just inky.
it kind of bleeds into the next questions. You can be a complete dumbass as a barbarian. You don't know anything. It's
What
in
was
character.
the other one?
And the other one's Ranger. If you want the best of both worlds, martial and magic, even though Rangers suck ass, you're gonna want to go Ranger because you get some spells. You get to use martial weapons. You know, the spells as well are pretty cool. You're gonna want to take Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark's a great spell. You know, you deal an extra D6 on your attacks or a attack
It's
a turn.
the only good one.
I mean, there's like Hail of Thorns, there's Tangled, there's Alarm, there's a bunch of like cool. Picture you're like Aragorn from fucking Lord of the Rings, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go like the Beastmaster subclass, you get a cool animal companion. Who doesn't like animal
That's
companions,
true.
right? Like you get a badass wolf or a panther or something like that. Or there's something like Hunter, where you just hunt better. You know, you deal more damage, or you can break out of crowds. It is a little bit more complicated. But I'd say it's only like it edges out fighter in terms of like a slightly more complicated. You don't get as many attacks, but you get that magic. You get that juicy magic. You get a favorite enemy, adds into your backstory. Maybe your family were killed by orcs and gnolls. Now you hate orcs and gnolls, and you're really good at hunting them. You're really good at killing them. You've got a lay of a land. You get to pick a type of like biome you're really good in. All that is kind of complicated, but it's a lot more just like role play. You get to work it out with your DM. But it's a good starter class to teach you the basics of like how certain magic things work, and maybe even teach you a little bit more about like the enemies you're going up against and the world that you're in, depending on if it's homebrew or not. Yeah, I think barbarians are really fucking simple, and trust me, level 1 to 20, guess what you're doing on your turn? You're either raging and then hitting, or you're just hitting, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Or you're hitting twice.
Or you're hitting twice. You're probably not going to hit any more than twice, but that's okay. You're really just there to get hit. Speaking of getting hit, this next question is a hit with the kids. Not really. It's hit with me. What tropes do you think are under/overutilized when it comes to new players? You know, we're talking, my parents died in a car accident, or
I was left on the streets as an orphan.
Edgy,
never knew my parents.
I'm an edgy tiefling rogue, and I'm an orphan. You know,
Everything
stuff
sucks.
like, not saying that
Everyone
you
should
shouldn't.
die.
Not saying
I work better alone.
for the record. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that kind of stuff, because it's classic, and you'll probably remember that character forever. We're just saying a lot of people do, and I'm sure I did something like that when we first started. You know, although I did make really fucking weird characters. But we're looking at under or overutilized like tropes people use. And seeing as everyone looks like they're deep in thought, I guess I'll just take a moment to say hello, everybody. Thank you for watching this episode, and thank you for watching the last episodes. It's been a blast. And we'll also see you at the end of the week for some background.
Hi.
Oh yeah, if you're new here, hello. And we'll see you at the end of
Run
the
while
week.
you can.
The Mage Tribunal is so super cool, and you should totally keep watching because they are so awesome.
Editor, mute him.
So, Evan's screen was just static. What the hell was that?
Yay! Yay! Yay!
I heard some
There's
like
a bit of like flesh noise at the
yeah,
end there.
I was just saying, I heard some squelching. And now that we're all really distracted, I'm gonna hop over to Alyssa.
Why would you do that?
I want more ums in the
You
conversation.
that.
The umpilation
I
is
don't-
coming soon.
Ums for the emperor.
The umpire.
Baseball.
Yammers.
With the amount of times that she says I'm surprised she's not a monk.
No.
I'm sorry.
Baseball. Baseball.
Just like gym class. Just like gym class.
Enough.
I don't know. I guess like it's the typical rogue backstory that we were beefing on earlier, where it's like you're an orphan and you're on the streets. Everyone does it. Everyone has a character like that. Even you. And if you don't, you're lying.
Ow, I just poked myself in the eye. Well, alternatively then, is there any that you feel like you don't see, that you don't even hear of, and you're like, why don't more people do this?
I don't know, because people don't do it.
I know. That's why I'm asking if you have any that you're like, why don't more people do this?
No, I don't know. I feel like
I was
feel
waiting
like
for an
everything-
No.
I feel like everything I do is kind of riffed off something else. Everything, it's hard to be original, especially nowadays. So,
We're all just monkeys on typewriters, aren't we? All trying to type out Shakespeare's Hamlet. Speaking of Shakespeare's Hamlet, Evan, what do you think
I was wondering where you're gonna go with that.
some under or overutilized tropes are?
Overutilized. The cleric or paladin is always lawful good. Like they're so by the books that they want everything to be like, no, don't do that. That's bad. You don't want to be on the bad side. Your god's not going to accept you.
you're gonna be on the naughty list.
Homie doesn't know about.
Do you want
God's
Christmas presents? Then stop doing bad things.
love. Dude, a cleric or paladin of Santa
Someone
Claus?
Has someone
What?
made that? If not, someone should.
There we go. That's
Can
an
that be someone-
underutilized one.
Ryan, can that be someone's class for
If we get a new
for
player,
the Christmas one shot?
if we get a new player for the Christmas one shot, maybe if Michael comes over.
Michael.
Michael, hit me up if you want to have a sleepover for Christmas.
A random Michael that's not
So
Michael
we're having a
is
slumber
going to, like,
party.
watch this and be like,
No.
why are they invited me to
If you're a random Michael, you can come to Level Michael Party, okay?
a Michael party?
Yeah, my name's not Michael, but
Use only Ryan in attendance.
yeah, I'm hosting it.
It's just Ryan doing attendance. Okay,
Michael?
Michael.
Michael.
Everybody raise their
Michael.
hand. All right, we're good.
Michael A.
One person
Michael
doesn't.
B.
Who are you? Get out of here!
Go!
It's a Michael party.
Out!
Well, you're very true,
Question's
Evan. A
gone.
underutilized trope is definitely a cleric or paladin of Santa Claus.
Yes.
That's what I gathered.
But the overused one is the goody two shoes.
Homie doesn't
That's
know
so
about the
good.
ever-loving embrace of their god.
You're just
Get
not
educated.
devoted enough.
I just love being a good guy.
Be a
Just
simp
doing
for your
bad things
god.
makes me feel bad.
Yeah, literally every time that I'm gonna do a bad thing. That image of
I'm
Superman,
gonna do a
that
bad.
image of Superman doing this pops in my brain. There's a star man, and I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I just
You picture Ziggy Stardust?
no, I just
Where did David Bowie come from?
because it always plays over that image.
He is his god.
You know what, editor? Put it in somewhere, and you'll see
Can
it.
David Bowie be my god?
You're a
In
freak.
D&D, anything's possible.
Yeah, you're a freak.
If you just believe.
Ryan, I'm changing my character for your campaign.
Speaking of my
Womp
character
womp.
for your character for my campaign, do you think there's any under or utilized tropes when it comes to new players? Alia, it's your turn.
Oh, I don't know. I guess like the basic ones, like what we've all just said, like the classic criminal rogue who's been abandoned by their parents,
My parents died.
or they were
They're
murdered.
fucking dead.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we haven't really talked
My
about why
parents
that's
hated me. They threw me on the
bad.
street.
It's not bad.
It's
It
not
could
be.
bad. It's just not original.
I think the main
No,
thing that comes
it's
with
not
that,
bad.
the main thing that comes with it is the fact
Sometimes
that
you just want
those
that
characters are always the ones that go off alone, and it absorbs a lot of the time. That
Lone wolves.
yeah, you're a lone wolf, and if you're playing a team game, there's no room for a fully lone wolf character. I'm sorry, I hate to say
Don't
it.
be a lone wolf, is what we're
Don't
saying.
be
Don't
a
be a
lone
lone
wolf.
wolf.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
I don't know. That's
Just
a
stick to the
good
rivers and the lands that
song.
you're used to.
It's a really good song. We love you, Paul McCartney. Yeah, I don't know about like what was it, like under whatever.
Under or
I don't know.
overutilized.
I can't think of any that are underutilized. But yeah, the only one I can think of because you said it was the rogue. If you didn't say that example, I'd have nothing because I'd have no idea.
Damn.
But yeah, I've done that twice. with 2 rogue tieflings.
Of course. It's
Read you like a book.
Well, because they were my first 2 characters.
Open the pages. There's Halia saying that she's the tiefling. Mark it down.
That's been
This
This
marked
will be
down,
on the
buddy.
test.
That's been marked down.
There's a side quest test.
There will be.
Salary was.
At the end of the year,
Oh my
Kahoot.
god.
End of the year,
no.
Kahoot.
Yes, side quest Kahoot.
Can we stream a side quest Kahoot?
Yes.
Sure.
For like 8 people. Absolutely.
Yay.
For one person.
This is true.
Michael. We're talking to you, Michael. We love
Shout
you.
out.
Well, speaking of shoutouts, Noah, you're the next person that needs to answer this question.
Oh my god. I'm so grateful. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, Michael.
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 I'd like to thank
The
Michael.
other Michael.
Well, for overutilized classes, I would say like a classic adventurous hero who is out to experience the world and do the best he can and save as many people as possible.
He wants
just
to be
like-
the very best, though?
Yeah, like John Adventurer. And it's
Like, no one
completely
ever
fine
was, though?
if you
Shut up,
play that
Alyssa.
kind of character. But the point I wanna try to emphasize here is add a little bit something to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be much, especially like if you just choose a background. They give you little flaws and bonds and ideals, and just little small things that can add a lot to a character and make them more memorable than just huzzah! I will slay dragon. I will
Although,
go fight. I'll loot.
if that's
My
what you
name is
want,
Arthur
you
Pendragon.
do that. None of these
I will
things
say
are bad. We're not saying any of these tropes are bad.
They're just
They're
overused.
just, we've seen them a lot, which is fine. I'm sure in medieval times there were a bunch of abandoned children. So, like, you're good.
That's messed
You
up.
can vibe. You're good.
What about
Yeah,
all the
don't
Don't go
make
burning
it-
down the orphanage. We
it
beg you.
doesn't take much to
Work.
make a character more than you expected.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I think an underutilized trope is that very same trope. I never see anybody who's like, I just want to be an adventurer. It's always like, I have some deep-seated trauma and I'm going to be an adventurer because of it. And then
Yeah.
they're like, I don't want
That's true.
I never even wanted to be an adventurer. Being an adventurer sucks. I hate being an adventurer. You
I used to
rarely
be an
see
adventurer like you.
you rarely see somebody that's just
But I
like,
took a
I
narrow
want to be an
remedy.
adventurer. And that's what I want to do. Like,
That's true.
I think in the past, like, 50 campaigns, 1 trillion campaigns I've ever been a part of, there's been, like, maybe 3 characters that have just been like, I just wanted to be an adventurer, so I decided I'm going to be.
And I think I've played 2 of them.
And I was about to say, I guess, like, John Baker is kind of one of them, but he was also like, I hate being an adventurer.
Yeah,
I
he was
hate
forced to
it.
be an adventurer.
I hate it. I don't want to
Yeah.
be here. I want to go
I hate
Um,
John
adventuring.
Baker
I
doesn't
hate
want
it.
to debate.
It is.
I was
it
thinking
is-
more
That's true.
Wicker and Azok.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, liquor.
one of
Oh.
one of the most, I guess, like, it's one of the most over and underutilized tropes in the very same at the same time. It's a paradox.
It's so underutilized
It's like-
that people think it's overutilized.
It's like it's or even the other way around, that it's so overutilized that people are like, I'm not going to utilize it, even though everyone utilizes it, so nobody uses it. But everyone's using
talking
it.
about.
I don't know. I'm yapping.
My brain is confused.
It's just something
Good.
that I'm like, I feel like I never see it, but I'm sure there's a lot of things out there like that. You know, like an isekai protagonist or something. Is that how you pronounce it?
Isekai.
We got him, boys. No, I'm joking.
Is that like
I-
Naruto or something?
yeah, just like the classic protag. No, it's just
Yes, it is, Hellion.
I don't see.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't see a lot of characters like that. You know,
What about you, Ryan?
I just said it.
What tropes do you think?
That one.
You didn't.
Like he just said.
Okay.
I just went.
Okay.
Just went on for about 3
You know what?
minutes.
Dude,
You know
forgot.
one that wasn't
You
mentioned.
got his mind wiped.
I've got to get his camera fixed. It keeps going static. Well,
Wait, I have one more trope. I'm sorry. The overly charismatic bard, the one that tries to sleep with everybody.
Oh, Yeah.
Are you
Fair.
saying this is under or over?
Over. Because of TikTok.
Okay, well there you goes. TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah,
if
I
you're
was gonna
playing,
say I don't think anyone in at least our
No one's-
party has done that.
No one in our
I-
party's done it. But
I
I'm
have
sure
played-
there's a lot of bards out there that want to just sleep with everything.
I've played a character like that, and he was a warlock.
Me too.
And then he
was a
got
wizard.
You
and then,
didn't
and
do
then he got
that,
and then he got
though.
traumatized, and he was like, "I'm never doing that again." For the record,
it's so
he rizzed
funny,
someone. He
though.
rizzed someone up, and while they were doing it, they stabbed him in the fucking heart with a stake. 'cause
No,
he was a
hold
vampire.
on. That happened a while later.
No, that happened.
didn't
That happened
try.
at like level 5. That happened at level 5.
Okay,
Okay.
but we
That
played
is
once.
that
a
was
week.
that was like 3 months in. Okay, it's called a slow burn. Okay,
Okay,
slow
but
burn.
anyway,
Book talk girlies out there, you
basically-
get it. You get it.
Basically, when Ryan was telling me about Caliban, he was like, "I'm gonna rizz up everybody," and I'm like, "Okay, we can try." And then he
You
did
can
it.
certainly try.
Yeah,
and then
who
he
rizzed
got
up
that
more
one.
people? Caliban or Elzira?
Elzira.
Yeah, I mean, hey, to be
It's
fair,
not that
wasn't
easy.
I wasn't around for Rizzy Caliban.
well, yeah, because he got
Neither was I.
he got fucking traumatized. He was like, "I'm not doing that anymore. I got stabbed in the heart last time I did that."
Yeah.
I was
Damn.
around.
Be
I
like,
didn't know. I don't think I ever knew.
I've only known of like that one, I think, dwarf or gnome in
Halfling.
Mulleport, whatever. And there was
Racist.
like,
The one, a small one.
One of those small ones, little ones.
sure, one of them. Then there was like the fucking barmaid girl
Oh,
that
that one
didn't
was
even
sad.
go anywhere because she
That one
was
was
already
sad.
like married or something.
Nope.
And then there was your patron, who I mean, doesn't really count.
Obviously. Yeah,
And
who wouldn't riz their
then-
patron as a warlock?
Me.
Feel free.
Cringe.
Depends.
Missing out.
But
Depends
okay.
on the patron.
I could
True.
take the Raven Queen.
Leave our mother alone, you little weirdo.
You're going for Tasha. Stay loyal.
Sexuality is a spectrum.
Fair enough. Touche.
Oh my
Well,
God.
if you're trying to be a rizzer, you gotta be ready for the DM to weaponize that against you, and you better be ready for your character to be forever changed. They keep in they dingaling or they thang and they pants from then on out. All right.
Chastity belt, 3 locks.
I don't know about that, but people
Thanks
like
for
hey,
specifying.
people like what they like. We'll just move on to the next one. You know, in fact, editor, if you watch that back and it's too awkward, just cut it out, and we'll start
Yeah.
from here.
Definitely was not. It was not that.
What
awkward.
tips
Well, it wasn't that bad.
can you give to
Tips?
new players?
What?
Tips.
What was the question?
What
Tips.
tips?
I
you
do
give
feel
to
like
new
we've
players?
asked this question before.
Probably.
And I'll probably just say the same thing, which is just try to have fun with it. You're gonna be nervous, and at least if you're like me and you're awkward and anxious, but you're playing D&D. Everybody else is as socially inept as you are, if I had to guess.
We're all nerds. We're all here to have a good
I
time.
just
Yeah.
dunked on everyone. Damn.
It's true.
People you're playing with are socially inept losers.
Fucking be creative.
I didn't say that specifically. If that's the way you want to take it,
You added loser.
then I
That's what
apologize.
I know. I just wanted to pun what I'm saying off.
Yeah, just try to have fun with it. It definitely changed my life. It made me come out of my shell a lot. So it could change yours too if you just take that chance.
I have one that's actually
That's
very,
real.
very important. Okay. Don't make too many characters if you're not going to play them. All right. I know it's so alluring. You wanna
Impossible
you
challenge.
wanna make those characters. Don't. Save your
Hallie
creative
looks
juices.
away from the camera.
Save your creative juices. I swear. You will. It's like you'll burn out.
Everyone, please shun Halia for the amount of characters that she's made.
I
You
feel like this is very targeted.
no. You'll burn
Yeah, the
out.
2 people in this group.
No, you'll
specifically.
You'll burn out.
Ew.
I used to do
Are
it.
you the same, Melissa? No. Oh.
No.
I-
I don't,
Halia?
I'm not as crazy as Halia.
Hold on.
I
let me
maybe
just
have
share.
like 2 on the back burner
Let me just share.
that I've just never played, but
I-
Halia has a whole fucking like note for like 20 some odd characters she wants to play.
It's more.
Did I- Is it more?
127.
Shut the fuck up.
You need to stop.
I can't.
You have a problem. I think this is an intervention, Halia. I feel like you need some divine intervention.
Yeah, it's just
Roll with the 100.
the thing is, I used to make a shit ton of characters. Now you sit me down, and you're like, "Okay, Ryan, what are you gonna play?" I'm like,
That's the point I'm at.
Like,
I've got no idea.
exactly.
What I
I'm
wanna
just
play.
like, what do I want to play? Like, I've made everything, and I'm like, I'm done. My juices are over.
That's a good point. For new players, if you're struggling with that, what I do is I talk to the DM. I go, what kind of session are you going to run? What's the environment? What's like some of the big factions around? And you could base a character very easily off of those little tidbits the DM gives you.
Never hurts to work with
Something I personally do is I've kind of counted out how many classes there are and how many races, and I assign those to dice rolls. So depending on what I get, that's what I play. Or I take inspiration from that and I roll again and see if I like the second outcome better. It's just all about the preference of how you're feeling in the moment and if you'd actually want to continue on with it. Like, for example, you could roll wizard or half-elf wizard. Well, wizard's a very complicated class, but half-elf is a race that you haven't done before. Okay, so then you keep the half-elf and then you just roll the class again. That way you're building it up without really putting too much thought into it.
I don't like that.
It's personal for me.
I think the randomness is great, but if you like roll and then you go, nah, I don't like that. What was the point of rolling?
Shut up.
I think if you're making a character if you're making a long-term character, you should probably put some thought into it. But if it's like a one-shot character, just roll it if you want it. If you can't think of anything, you don't want to think of anything, roll for it. Right? But if it's a long-term campaign that you know you're going to be playing this character, it is better, even if you're like, okay, maybe I won't join in for the first or second session, take that time to think of a character, right? There's no harm in missing a session or two. In fact, maybe it can add a little bit more pizzazz into it, right? They're like, oh, this is a full party, and then you come in a session later, and they're like, what? That's crazy.
There's more?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, what the
Oh
heck?
my goodness.
You could also make a character who has very little backstory, but evolves throughout the campaign, which is something that I think each of us, or at least I, have done before. It's certainly possible. That's the glory about D&D is you can really do whatever the hell you want.
Mm-hmm.
As long
Ask
as
your
you've
DM
got a good
first.
group of folks, yeah, and your DM
Ask
is
your DM first.
yeah.
I don't think I'll ever forget when I convinced Jonas to let me play a dragon in one of his sessions. And then I was like, I think I'm going to switch my character. After Armand
Oh.
left the party, I was like, I want to play a dragon. And he was like, how that? And I was like, I was talking to him and I was like, come on, like this is how it could work. And he was like, okay. And then I was like, I want to play something else. And he was like, okay.
You lost it.
Yeah, I lost my one.
And then you brought Willow.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had a dragon, but we had Willow.
Yeah, instead of a dragon, you got
What
a
was
terrorist.
based? Yeah, for real.
True.
Actual canon, by
That's
the way.
true.
It got bleeped out a couple episodes ago. But just know this guy blew up. Actually, maybe that was a different character. I think we were talking about Thornton. This guy blew up, and I want to preface this with, the place is called Delaware, and it was supposedly full of criminals. That's what I was told. As a guy from Delaware, he was like, there's nothing but scumbags,
Yeah,
crooks, and murderers
Ryan-
here. And I was like,
Ryan and I's characters.
We have
were both
argued about
from-
this all the time.
We were both from Delaware.
I'm forever pissed off about it.
And it was,
Me-
it was
kinda
like
me
the
too.
city. It was basically like Gotham, is how Jonas explained it to us.
Jonas sat,
So
like,
we were like, okay,
There's
this
still
is
good
all
people
bad
in Gotham.
people.
There's still good
he
people in
sat-
a bad place.
yeah, but he sat me down, and he was like, there's literally Nothing there. There's nobody there. This fucking like he was like, this place is terrible. It
Yeah,
sucks.
he really
and
hammered it
you
in.
hate this place. And I was like, yeah, I do hate this place. I'm gonna get revenge on these evil crooks and dirtbags. So I divide.
Yeah.
2 months of real life time of planning went by. Okay, and I blew up the entire fucking island.
Yeah.
All right.
It was the entire island.
Forever
but it was
pissed
most
off.
of the city district.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty much.
No, it was the whole thing.
Well,
whole
the
thing
island
was
didn't like
fucking
fall.
No,
or
the
anything.
island
By the way,
didn't-
there's islands in the
but,
sky.
like, there was
This
no
that's just in the
livable.
campaign.
Yeah, all the city was
no
gone.
livable people.
And the
left.
like sewer area where all the other people lived, like the undercity, they moved up and started rebuilding. So,
Forever pissed off.
but that's just to say, D&D, you can do whatever you want. You want to blow up an island, put some thought into it, and you can do it.
Forever
Kinda just-
pissed off.
Actually,
Kind of just
insane.
Stay malding, cope.
to counter my own point that I just made. Don't be afraid to be creative. Fucking throw caution to the wind when it comes to making a character as well, and see what ideas stick, and talk to your DM about it because they might even be on the same page as you. You never know. No character idea is a bad character idea until discussed.
Yeah.
real.
Or
Like,
until
one of
you
Ryan's
just
first
stop
characters-
enjoying that character.
Exactly.
True.
One of Ryan's first characters was, I think he was just like clothing,
Yeah.
where his body didn't exist. He was like invisible or amorphous. He was almost like a ghost, so you could only see just his clothes walking around. I was like, oh my god, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, his body. Oh no, his body was inhabited by some guy running the Thieves Guild. I was like,
Yeah,
I need to go get my
That
body
was, well,
back.
Yeah, you didn't know that when you
No.
made the backstory.
No,
but
I
that's
didn't.
something I snuck in there for
Yeah.
funsies.
It was super
Well,
fun.
those
You were just
were
like his,
campaigns
you were
that
like
you
his
ran?
bodies. Oh yeah, first ever campaign I ran.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh.
Yeah, you were just like his body's out there somewhere, and I was like, oh, I got you.
And that's where
Let
the
me mess around.
my infamous if I can't think of a character name or something like that, I always go with Risco. And you can bet
I've never heard
No,
of
there's
Yeah,
always
never heard you name the
What?
character
Mm-mm.
that was that guy.
other than that character.
In some of my old campaigns, I put some Riscos in. I always have one in my
Oh.
campaigns.
Oh,
homebrew
I thought you meant
campaigns.
like characters that you.
No,
can't
I've never
think
made
of.
another character because I never have that issue where I'm like I
Okay.
literally can't think of anything, so I'll just make Risco.
Gotcha.
He's like
okay.
my OC, right? Like I'm just like I'll plop him in here, and I'm sure one day in the future I'll redo him for a campaign. But
True.
I'm in no shortage of juice. No.
It'd be a great idea, Halliam. You should run
What?
a campaign and put all those people that you made in there.
As NPCs.
No.
You could do it.
We tried.
I don't think I could. Nor
You can
do
do
I
it.
want to.
You can do
You
I
can
use
do it.
What I do with those characters is I go through them. A lot of them are now in Ryan's campaign.
Oh.
Cool.
Because I had a character before my current character idea. That was what I used, and a lot of my characters, not the 127, those are taken from that. They're in Kugaton.
It's like, I guess you're kind of doing it then.
So I need to free up some space. I need to get some of them away from me because I'm never going to use them. A lot of them don't have backstories either. They're just ideas that I have in my brain. I'm like, ooh, that looks pretty in my head. And I'm like, never going to use them.
Yeah. Yes, I doubt we're gonna run 100 campaigns in our life.
Yeah. So they're all just NPCs. now.
Maybe. We can try.
Unless they're all like.
Unless we do like a one shot a day.
Hey, I'd love to, but people get
My
tired of it.
brain would be fried by the end of that.
Yeah. Imagine the DM.
Oh God.
That's why it would be easier to alternate DMs. Give the 3 DMs, gives the other DMs 2 days of prep.
You know where we're alternating DMs? our new hit series Vecna, which comes out every Friday at 7 p.m. Me and Ryan duo DMing. We're swapping it up.
Their character
new
dynamic
book.
is impeccable.
Vecna, Eve of Ruin. We're going through it. So you go
Still
through it with
mad
us.
that it's called Eve of Ruin.
I think
Grow
it's fine.
up.
It's like the day before Ruin. Like Ruin's coming.
Yeah.
I know, but it still would have been cooler if it was I.
Well, it's not like
How?
like just the eye is the bad part.
Yes.
Like he's also got a hand too.
He's also
Like-
got a body and a brain, and the
Okay.
rest of him that's evil.
No, he's just the eye.
You guys ever hear about the head of Vecna?
I heard it's pretty good.
Freaks? No. It was like a dungeon and there's a note. They said the head of Vecna. It was just like mummified head. And the party fucking cut each other's heads off to put it on. And it was just a mummified head. So
Hilarious.
They just
You
killed...
think after the first time it didn't work, they would stop?
Who did that?
I saw it on the official like Wizards.
Dude's
D&D
friends
thing.
making it up.
No,
Yeah,
it was
no,
a show.
No, I've heard that same
Yeah.
story.
I think Jeremy Crawford was telling you.
Why did you say his name like that?
Crawford.
Crawford.
Oh, so now it's
Sorry.
fucking illegal to be Southern.
But
You
you're
guys are
Yeah,
making fun of me. I'm from
motherfuckers.
Missouri.
You're
You
from
aren't
Canada.
though.
No, you're just miserable.
Yeah, I'm just from Southern Canada.
Well,
That could be
is there anything
anywhere.
else? Any other points that people wanted to bring up?
Make a badass character.
Um,
Just don't make him like I slay God in his backstory unless he's a psychopath.
I disagree.
Oh?
Make a silly character. Don't be
Make
afraid.
whatever character you want.
Yo, I love
No, be
making
silly.
characters.
Be silly. Be funny.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yummers.
You gotta
the best
just do
part-
whatever you want. Whatever you're feeling for that campaign one shot. Do it.
You're feeling silly.
No
You're feeling
one
silly.
will really care.
The best part about being a silly character is that eventually you can have them like be serious. There's probably gonna be a dramatic moment,
True.
and it's gonna surprise you how far that silly character can go.
You know what I just realized? Alyssa is that
No.
fucking silly character. She's drinking a glass of milk at 7:39 p.m.
What
kind
do
of
you want?
What
You
kind
had
of
you
cartoon?
had to you
what
had
kind
to.
of
What's
cartoon?
wrong
you
What
want
kind of
from me?
cartoon warm milk before bed type shit is this?
All
What
right,
the
guys.
fuck
Thanks
do
for
you
You
watching
had to
this
call her out
episode
like
of
that.
Side Quest.
I'm parched.
Leave
Yeah,
her.
I
Okay,
think
okay,
that's-
okay,
I
okay.
think that's
Okay.
probably.
Saturday,
So-
I'm bringing
I
the
think we're
glass
out.
of milk.
Halia
I'm bringing the
so
cubes
Hal-
of cheese.
No,
I'm bringing the
no.
guitar string.
So Halia can have cheese, but I have to get fucking dished on every time I have milk. What the fuck is this shit?
Look, you can't
Excuse me?
drink during a podcast because if you
Fine.
drink during
I
a
don't have
podcast,
cheese.
they'll hear like the
Drink milk.
the drinking.
Get strong bones.
What are we on about?
Big
I don't
beef
have
beefy
cheese.
boy.
Cheese? What are you talking about? I don't have cheese.
Well, you want to know what else is cheesy?
You'll make
This
that- you'll make
outro.
that
Ryan,
sound.
take it away.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Side Quest. I believe this is episode 25, and there's no title at the time of the recording, so we're going to say thank you very much for watching this through. And for every new player who
Thank you
came
very much
from the
for watching this
Instagram
through.
reel, we see you commenting. We're sorry we're not replying. These submissions are closed.
You know what?
And-
We're gonna all reply right now. You are all
Answered.
fighters. Enjoy.
Oh, you're fighters! Have fun in your first campaigns, and don't forget we are here every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Friday for Vecna Eve of Ruin at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you there. Thank you for making us a part of your weekly activities.
Yippee!
Bye.